everyone, and welcome to my Flosstube channel, Coco Creates. I'm Zoe and this is Coco. Just scoop her up. There she is. And Coco has had her summer haircut, so she is beach body ready. You have to promise all that you won't laugh at her though. She'll be very sad if you do. So come on, here we go. There she is. She's lost all of her fluffles. She's still got her sexy boots. Her boots with the fur and a little feather duster tail. But yeah, but the rest of her all naked, ready for the summer. And yeah, she is feeling very much better for it. Especially the heat wave we had, was it last week, week before, that we had here. Yeah, she was very much glad about it. But yes, so she was a very good girl at the groomers. So I've got a friend who does dog grooming, and she now does dog grooming and Coco. So yeah, we take her there, mainly because it was just getting too big of a job for me to do by myself with her. So I go there and she does it, which is nice, and Coco behaves herself, which is good. So yes, so I think the only problem for me though is that now she's had her hair cut, she's a lot cooler than she was before, and therefore on those really hot days she likes to come up and curl up next to me, and I don't want to be touched because I'm already very hot on those very hot days, and I'm like, please don't touch me. But she's wanting cuddles because she's not hot. But anyway, but she's very good. She's very much feeling better. So yes. Anyway, this isn't a channel about cats really. So this is supposed to be a channel about stitching. Lots of stitching, and because it's June, or rather this is my June update, so it was the end of June, we hit the middle of the year, so there will be a bit of a kind of goals, like a recap, so like how far along am I with my yearly goals and the plans for the latter half of the year. So we will have that as well. Yeah, so we'll start with what I've been working on, so my whips, and then like I said, then we'll go into sort of what I've been doing this month, you know, life updatey bit, and then goals at the end. So first of all, with my whips, we always start right at the top with my my big girl, my Amazing Animal Kingdom. So this is a piece, an Amy Stewart design, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, that I got quite some time ago now. I started it Christmas 2019. So this is the 6th proper year of stitching, and it's on too big of a frame, so I will be inserting pictures. I've got it on, like, I think it's 40-inch scroll bars, and it is too heavy for me to sort of hold up. It's very unwieldy. It's very long, so you will be getting pictures of what I've been working on. I'm gonna have to get my diary out because I can't remember what the rolls were this month. I can remember what the rolls were for July because I've just looked at them, but I can't remember for June. So for June, we rolled a total of 3,400 stitches. So how I work that out is I use my WhipGo board for it, which will pop in here. This is WhipGo is the brainchild of Jessie Marie over at Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and what I've done, instead of putting a different project in each spot, I've done the same project, but I've put the number of stitches in each spot as to what I'll work on. So yeah, so this month we had the number 21 and sorry, the stitches 2100 and 1200, which is how my 3,400 came about. And I actually put in 3,413 stitches in here. We did get another couple of bums in this one, so we've got an ostrich bum and and we did get a meerkat bum, but we also did get the rest of the meerkat. So we have a whole meerkat now as well. So yeah, and we are very close. I think the end of this stripe, I think, will be the shelf of the top shelf, so the actual, you know, wooden shelf piece. So yeah, so we're almost at the top shelf. That, so once I get started on the top shelf, we will have all 4 shelves in my stripe being stitched on, which is quite exciting. But yeah, so that was what I worked on this month. It took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days to do that one on there. And what's next? Then we have my other 2 stitchy goals for the month. So I always have I have three pieces that I want to get done, that I want to get worked on this year. So 2 pieces finished, and then the whip go from Animal Kingdom. So I always start the month trying to work on those 3 pieces to get my monthly stitching allocation done, and then we get to go on to anything else. So next up, I was working on my stocking. So this is my Woodland Animals stocking. Where is the picture? Here we go. So this is from Christmas in the Woods by Stony Creek, book 480, and I'm doing this stocking here. I started at the bottom and I'm literally just working all the way up. I would like to get this finished for Christmas this year. So what I did is I basically divided the pattern up into roughly 12 sort of strips, 12 chunks, with the goal as long as I do 1 chunk every month, I shall be finished on time. So yeah, so we have been keeping up. I have completed this month's chunk. Now this month's chunk was the first, and in fact I think it might be the only stripe that was completely full coverage, because we have so this piece here behind these snowflakes here, that is blank space, and then sort of this piece here behind the branches of the tree, that is also blank space. So this piece right in the middle, so before you get to this blank piece here and after you've done this blank piece here, that little stripe there is completely full coverage. So that was this month's piece, was there. So we'll have to pause while I grab it because it's slightly out of reach. Was I organised when I started to do this? No, I was not. Am I ever organised? No, I am also not. But still, here we go. So this, I'm stitching this on a piece of Megan Coffee Crafts fabric linen. It's a 28 count piece, which is what it calls for on the chart. Does it say how much it'll finish? Yeah, so it'll finish at, well, pretty much stocking sized. I think the design area is going to be sort of 10 by 18 inches, which is about stocking sized, I think. Well, it's a decent sized stocking, but yeah. So I'm trying not to get the shadow, but yeah, so there we go. That's what I did this month. So last month I had just sort of started on the body of the deer, but this month I finished her head. And I added in, I did go, so you can, I can't get my arm around it while it's over there because I'm holding it. So I'm going to have to hold it back here and hope that it's not too far away for you guys. So you can see here, this bit's quite straight. And then this bit's quite straight over here. That's where the end of my line was of my chunk. So that straight line there. But it felt silly leaving, not doing the ears and leaving 2 or 3 stitches of each colour on the needle. So I did just finish the ears for that. It's not quite all of the deer finished. There's a little bit sort of the actual top of her head, but that's a completely separate colour. So yeah, so all finished and back stitched as I go. I'm back stitching all the way up. The only thing I'm changing about the back stitch is I'm kind of smoothing out the edges. So instead of kind of it being steps around each stitch, I'm kind of doing diagonal back stitching to kind of smooth out where where I think it should be smoother. So like round the side of there, her shoulder, instead of it being like steps, I've kind of smoothed it round. But yes, excuse the creases on the fabric. I know I never really mentioned about the creases, but I know a lot of other people do. There is a reason that I don't iron. There are several reasons I don't iron my piece. One is I can't be bothered, but the main reason is because when you stitch, no matter how clean you try and be, your skin makes natural oils, and those oils will get on the fabric, they'll get on the needle, they'll get on the thread, they get on the fabric and you're stitching. And over time, like, you know, over the years, they can actually sort of stain the stitching and they can degrade it. So that's why it's always good practice to not only make sure your hands are clean, but if you can, to wash your piece when it's complete. No, not all fabrics and threads are colour fast, so check that before you wash. But my plan would be to wash this before it's finished, to wash all of those oils out. Now, if you iron it before you're washing it, the iron and the heat from the iron is going to set those oils into the fabric, and you're going to have a really tough time actually washing those out at the end. So no matter how much you wash it, those oils are still going to be in the fabric, and then eventually going to stain, especially the white. You'll find the whites will eventually start to go yellow. Some of the colours, the staining you wouldn't really notice as much, like if a brown is ever such a slightly darker brown, like you're not going to notice, but the white you will really notice it start to go yellow over time. Also, especially if you're going to have your project out in the sun. So that's why it's always good to also not have your projects displayed in direct sunlight, if you can. But yeah, so that is why my pieces are creased. That is why they'll always be creased, and that is why I will not apologise for them always being creased. But anyway, there we go. So that's that done. Needle minders are from Lauren at Lauren something something. Can I remember? All I keep coming to is the Diddy Stitcher. It's not the Diddy Stitcher, and it's not Blushing Pink Stitches, because that's what's Lauren's channel? No, I got left there. I'm gonna have to add it in. I'm gonna have to look it up and add it in later. Sorry, I've forgotten your name. Your sort of channel and shop name. But anyway, and if anyone wanted to know, this is one of the Millennium frames. They are really good for tension, I won't lie. Are they better than a Q-snap? Depends on the project, I suppose. But yeah, so that is what I've got for that one. Oh, and the fabric is sparkly. I don't know if you ever noticed. It is an opalescent sparkly one, just because it's Christmas. And there's already snowflakes in the background, so there we go. But yeah, we are on track to have that done by, yeah, I think I started it in December, so my last month, which will be putting the name in, will be November. So yeah, so we should have this done by November so that I can sew it into a stocking in December and have it all ready for Christmas for my nephew. So yes, still need to chart his name. I'm pretty sure his name will fit. He has a long name. But yes, well done. So that is that one. Stocking went down 1, 2, just 2 days of stitching on that one. So there we go. And my final goal piece out of my top 3 is my Christmas market sale. Now this is, oops, also out of reach. So this is Country Cottage Needleworks piece, and they all come as individual pieces for the sale, because you could stitch them either individually as ornaments or as a whole piece. I'm stitching them as a whole piece. So this month's piece was the crepe cart, which is this one just here. Probably should have took it out of the plastic, but I'm not subjecting you to the crinkles for that. I am using all of the called for flosses, classic colourworks, apart from the white. It calls for bamboo. I don't see any benefit to stitching with the bamboo over just stitching with plain white. There's so little variation in the actual bamboo that I wasn't going to pay for it. So yeah, so apart from that, it is called for, but yes, and here we are. So there's the whole piece. Again, this is a piece of fabric dyed by Megan. This is a 40 count piece that I picked just because I wanted the finished size to be smaller. It is a Christmas only piece. It's only going to come out sort of in a certain season, and the larger the piece is, the harder it is to kind of find somewhere for it to live when you put it away for the rest of the year. So yeah, so here's where we're up to. So we did this one down here. Now I made a few changes with this one, so let me fold the fabric up a bit so I can actually show you. Right, get that back out. Okay, so the main thing you'll notice is that I swapped it around. I flipped it around. Now I did have a bit of a discussion about this last time, that all of the stalls follow a similar principle. You have person and stall, or sort of item, you know, whether it's a tree or something, and stall. So the stalls are on the outside where the person was, and that meant we were going to have person stall, person stall, person stall. And I didn't like that. I thought I could either take this one and swap it completely over there and over here, or I could just like flip it the other way. Now, as I was talking it through on my last video, I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to swap it. And then I realised that what I could do is just take my phone, take a photo of the chart, and then mirror that photo on my phone, and then work from my phone. Like no thinking necessary, no, oh, how am I going to move this? I could literally just press a button on my phone and get it to mirror the image. That's what I did. So I then worked it off of my phone. Any device you've got would do that. An iPad that you could have took the pictures with, that would have worked as well. But yeah, so I did that to swap it over. And I also changed the skin tone of the lady. It's really not coming out well. It's making her look like a black blob because I'm in the shadow, and she isn't stitched in black at all. So anyway, this was the colour it should have been. It's probably not focusing that well. And yeah, so she's stitched in, it's the same colours from the actual that are called for on the rest of the project. I haven't picked up new colours, but yeah, there we go, you can see better. So yeah, dark brown for the hair and a slightly lighter brown for her skin on that one. So yeah, so she's sort of a one skin tone lighter than the guy up here. So yeah, but there we go. And that's the crepe stand with the sort of crepes with the berries on, and the little pan. And I did look, I did remember to put the berries in this time. I actually remembered all by myself. I didn't even mind him from anyone. Very proud of myself. I think you should all clap me. Thank you. But yeah, so there we go. That is that one done. Now the next stall, because I did wonder, I think I thought last time that the next stall was this one here, but it's not. We're going clockwise around. So the next stall is this one down here, which is the mulled cider stand. And so that is, whoops, that is going to be down in this corner. So that's what I'm going to be working on in July. Apologies for not taking it out of the plastic, but yeah, so mulled cider. So we've got some the jugs of the cider, some apples, and then person with a red scarf in his little cup. But yes, so that will be for July's section. Whoops. Right, can I get everything back in my project bag? Yeah, and it's just in a small project bag that I got from Stitch Mania stash. So with the bumblebees on, and it's a vinyl front. The inside is honeycomb. But yeah, so it does, it apart from right now where I've just shoved it in willy-nilly, it does actually fit in this bag really nice with all of the pieces. So yes, so that is was my 3 main goals for the month complete. So then what did we do next? And I would say I went onto my Whipopoly board, but I did not, because I had something special happen in the middle of the month, which is I went on my first NOBAM retreat. So anyone that's been watching for a while knows that I do go on the large retreats with the Essex Needles retreat, and I have been on a couple of like small scale retreats with sort of like 6 of us that have rented like a, I would say Airbnb, but it's not Airbnb, it's just a house sort of thing. So this is another large scale one that I've never done before. So this was NOBAM. I went with my mum, and it was in Northampton, yeah, just north of Northampton, at Sedgebrook Hall. There we go, see if I remember. And it was organised by the lovely Zarina of Hawkins Hobbies. Hawkins Hobbies, they sell many things. One of the things they do sell are the charts and the full kits for things like the Mirabilias, the Bella Filipinas, those designs. They also do some Mill Hills, and I think they have other things on their site as well. Zarina's husband Robert also offers a framing service, so my mum did just get hers framed. I'll see if she'll let me take a picture of it, because she's put it away. She hasn't put it on the wall yet, but if I can either work out where she's put it away or she'll get it out for me, I will insert a picture here of her Bella. So this was Bellatrix that she did. This was her first Bella and her first finish, and this was Rob did all the framing, he did the mounting, the lacing, the stretching and everything. So yes, so Rob does that as well. And but anyway, the retreat, so it was a weekend, so Friday to Sunday. You stop in the hotel, we have the conference suite, tea and coffee making facilities, nibbles, cakes, you know, pastries, food all sorted as well. There was a little spa, and there's also like a swimming pool, sauna and that, but I did go to the spa and I had a lovely massage while I was there, which was on the Friday evening, so it really set me up for the weekend, which was nice. I would admit it is built kind of on a hill, so it's over maybe like 1, 2, 3 floors, but kind of only because as you go in the building sort of in one end, and then you kind of have to gradually go up to get to the other end. So wheelchair access wasn't great. I was very lucky that Rob was there, Zarina's husband, and he was able to sort of wheel me around a few of like steep hills and things. But anyway, but apart from the getting around part, the actual retreat itself was really nice. The room was really nice. I got to sit on a table with a couple of other ladies, so I had Hazel and Michaela on my table, as well as like my mum. But yes, very nice, very cool room, and lots of space to spread out. So what did I work on when I was there? We'll go with that one first. Now, the first thing I picked up was my retreat piece, which is here. Whoops. So this has only become my retreats piece, kind of by accident, but these are the Country Cottage Needleworks, the mini villages. Now, this was the sale that they did like 2 years ago. My aim was to do it as they came out in the year. Did I do that? No. Absolutely not. But yeah, so this is the March. Again, I'm doing this with all the called for threads. The packet was open so I could get this out. So this is the March section. I don't know if it's going to focus. One day I will learn how to make this camera focus on things. That day is not today, but still. So all of these have the same layout. So you've got big house, little house, 2 people, and then an accoutrement that match the month. So this one is very much kind of St. Patrick's Day. So we have lots of 4-leaf clovers, sort of in decorating the walls, the tops of the trees. We have a rainbow there. People are wearing green. So yes. Now I don't know if I had a picture of where I started. My start was very small because I think I worked on it for like an hour at the Essex retreat in March and did maybe like 60 stitches. So I may or may not have a photo of where that start was, but this is where we are up to now. So give or take, I've finished most of this half. So there's still a tree. So you can see the tree stump. There is a tree to go there on the tree stump, and then obviously the ground to go. But yeah, again, this is a Megan Coffee Crafts fabric, 40 count linen. And yeah, so I've got the 2 houses done. Now I did have to, well, I didn't have to. I did make a change on the rainbow for this because for whatever reason, the rainbow was not symmetrical. And I assumed it was when I started. So when I did the first colour coming over, I thought, oh, up 2, up 3, up 4, up 5. Obviously, it'll be down 4, 5, 3, 2. Stitched it. And then for whatever reason, I picked the pattern up again. I think to look at what the next colour was going to, you know, what the actual next colour was. And noticed that it isn't symmetrical. It's, you know, instead of like, it's not exactly this, but it goes, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But instead of it being symmetrical like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 3, 3, 2, 1. Like there's one stitch missing, sort of on one the other side of the arm, and I couldn't really work out why, because I thought, oh, I'm going to have to unpick it. But I did look at the chart, and I thought, no, even if I keep it exactly how I've done it, the rainbow's going to end in the same place, and it's not blocking anything in the middle. So I've elected to do it completely symmetrically. Symmetrically. Does it have an A in it? Symmetrically. But yeah, but anyway, there we go. So this, I think this is my, give or take, this one is the next closest to a finish in terms of the number of stitches left. So I am hoping to get this one finished quite quick. Mainly because, you know, this is only March and I also have all of the rest of the months of the year to do. So, but yeah, but as it happens, I started the January one at the Essex Retreat, the February one also at the Essex Retreat. You know, I've started them all at an Essex Retreat, so my aim is to have this one finished before the September retreat, so that September I can start the April one, and I'm just going to have to try and keep up with that, so that at least 2 a year I can get done, hopefully more, but at least 2 a year minimum we will be getting done. So yeah, so hoping to finish that either this month or next month. Yes, so next at the retreat I picked up my mini tea time. Now this is a soda stitch pattern, so I'll put the finished image in here, and I'm going to zoom in on a couple of bits that I changed. So most of this chart is pretty fine. You know, we've got cake, we've got tea, strawberry jam, makes sense. A couple of this on the bottom shelf that did not make sense, at least to me, where on the bottom left we have sugar and cream. Now sugar and cream are definitely things you would have in an afternoon tea. They go in your tea, they go in your coffee. That makes sense. The thing that didn't is, why is the cream in a sugar bowl? Cream comes in jugs. So I did change the jug to be, sorry, the cream bowl to be a jug. And then they also had milk and tomato, which again, tomato, I know technically it's a fruit, but it doesn't go on afternoon tea. So, I mean, sometimes I suppose you'd have those fancy like tomato roses, but that's not what this was. These are just tomatoes. So I was talking this over with Jenna over at Red-Headed Stitcher, and she was like, well, tomatoes are kind of halfway to a strawberry. Why don't you make them into strawberries? So I did. So we have 2 strawberries. Now, I do want to add, so I don't know if you can see, there's some tiny little black flecks. So black, like I've tried to do them like seeds, like little black seeds. I don't think there's enough, so I'm going to go in and put some more in the rest of the strawberry, just to kind of make them look more strawberry-like. But that will probably take me, I don't know, half an hour. So apart from that, that is all finished. So I also did the swoop along the bottom, and yeah, so we have a finish. Finally, so this is a project that I had a goal on for this year to have completed before the end of August, because as of the end of August this year, this piece turns 10 years old. It did not take me 10 years to stitch this piece. In fact, I think if I added up the number of stitches, probably 10 days tops I spent stitching on this. I could have knocked this out in 2 weeks. That is embarrassing that it took me 10 years to do, but it is finished. So yeah, so we have a slice of cake here, we have a teapot, teacup, jam and bread, cutlery here, and then a coffee mill, coffee grinder there with some coffee beans, milk and strawberries, some kind of sandwich cookies, and then the sugar and cream. But there we go. Now there is a companion piece to this, which is the cookie time. I do have that chart, and I have looked at it a few times, and I think it's going to be okay. I don't think I'm going to need to change anything up on that. So I'm hoping that will be okay to stitch and have it as a companion to this. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change out the Ada. I will keep it an Ada so that it matches this, but I will be changing out the Ada that it is, because this is just hard work to stitch on. Not as hard as some Adas, but like this piece is 10 years old and it's still like, you can still sort of stand it up sort of thing. It's not floppy gone floppy at all. So it's a very stiff Ada. But yes. Coco, are you chewing things? But anyway, we're not planning on starting that anytime soon, so we have a finish. Yes. So that was done, and I finished that at the retreat as well. It's very exciting. So yeah, I spent 2 days on that one at the retreat, and on the final day, since it was a NOBAM, so not necessarily a Mirabilia retreat, but who goes to a Mirabilia retreat without actually stitching on a Mirabilia? So I did pick up my mirror, which I'm stitching the portrait of Veronica, which is this piece here. I'm stitching this for Marie Curie because of the green. So we're making a couple of changes, I think, maybe to her hair colour, but because she was a bit lighter brown, but still. And I did just a wee bit of work on this, just basically just to say that I did while I was there. So here she is so far. Whoops, let's grab there. And I basically did this section, this fold of the dress here, which is just there. The spaces are for beads. But yeah, so this is on using the called for fabric and threads. I don't like this fabric particularly, but it's what was called for and it's what I started on. It's 32 count Star Sapphire linen by Witchelt. Now I believe Witchelt use a different type of linen now, but I can't confirm that because I've not seen it. But yes, the only thing I don't like is it's very big. The holes are very big, so it's very, the warp and the weft of it move a lot. There's very little structure to the actual fabric, so you sort of do have to be careful when you're pulling the stitches. If you pull a bit too tight, you basically pull the whole row of stitches down because it just pulls the whole warp right down. But still, I'm using all the called for threads and fabric. I got this from Zoe at Hawkins Hobbies several years ago now, but still. I'm converting the skin to over 1, so that's why I've not done much of her skin work, but you can see I've done the arm there. Well, most of the arm. And I have recharted her hands, just because I didn't like the way the hands were charted. There. But yes, so that was all the stitching that I did at the retreat. Okay, hopefully you can't hear the fan, but it is getting a bit warm, so I've had to put it on. So hopefully it'll be okay. So that was everything that I worked on at the retreat. And I came home and obviously I'd already completed my goals, so I got out my Whippopoly board. So I will pop in the videos from the vlogs from my Whippopoly board here for you to watch now. Hi everyone, and we are now on the 23rd of the month, so I've finished all my monthly goals, and let's see what my Whippopoly board has in store for the rest of the month. Oops, got a bit carried away there. There we go. So that was a double 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so that is a travel ticket. Don't think I've landed on one of these yet. this year. Okay, so I can choose to keep this one and use it at any point. So this is a change lanes, so that's to change between those three. So let's see where we end up next. That's a 6. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So that is a chance. You know, I swear I land on chance more than any other tile on the board, but I don't think there's more chance squares than anything else. Got my chance tickets. Oh, that's 2, just 1. Move to the next untouched whip. So I don't think that's very far to go, because I have worked on market stall this year. So our next untouched one is just going to be 2 more squares. So that's a year in the woods. That is my little fox that I've got. So we've done that one. And that will be 6 plus the first roll of 4, so that'll be 1,000 stitches into that one. So yeah, let me go grab that. Okay, so this is the year in the woods. So this is cottage garden threads. I do have all 12 of these. I'm planning on doing them in the seasons, so 3 months on each piece of fabric for each season. And this is my winter piece. Where are we? It's not quite as blue as it's showing up on camera, but yeah, and that's where we'd got to. So I've got well, the majority of the fox done actually. Let's see, that's the, oh, what have I got? That's all of the tail done, and this part. So I've just got the chest, the head, and then all those little kind of snowflakes and things. So yeah, shouldn't be too much. So I'm doing this on 28 count over 1, and then I'll get sort of all 3 fitted on sort of the width of a piece of fabric, and for all of the, oh no, that's attached. But yes, so like I said, 1,000 stitches. Hopefully we'll get our fox finished. Maybe a bit more, don't know, I'll have to wait and see. And I'm quite good at underestimating how much there is to do, but you know, we'll see. So yeah, so see you in a bit. Hello and welcome back to my update. So I did finish this late last night, but I wasn't going to film this at like midnight, so I'm filming it now. We are on Wednesday, no, now Thursday. And yeah, I finished my 1,000 stitches in the fox. I think I actually did 1,001 stitches or 1,002 stitches. Yes, Coco's come to say hello as well. Yes, hello. Yes. And yes, I did overestimate. No, I still can't remember which one of those words I'm supposed to be using. The number of stitches that 1,000 would get me. So is what I was trying to go with that sentence. So I was like, oh, I might just about finish this fox. Absolutely not. So I did. Sort of, I finished the sort of shoulder here. Started on the chest. Filled in this little bit of the colour on the paws that I hadn't done. And yeah, that was my 1,000 stitches. That tiny little area just there. I haven't even finished here. Like, there's still some spots to go in here. So yeah, way off my 1,000 stitch estimate. So it'll probably be another 1,000 stitches to do the head. But anyway, like I said, we did our 1,000 stitches, which is what I rolled for, and we're ready for my next roll. So okay, found my dice. Right. Oh, try not to drop them. 9. So where are we? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's odd. 7, 8, 9. Chance. You know, I swear I've landed on more sort of the chance squares and that than the actual like streets, like the, you know, the actual places, even though there's like less chance squares than everything else. So our next chance card is this one. So reverse. Oh, so move backwards on the next roll. So obviously we'll be going this way. Yes, and I'll pop that underneath those for the pile. Whoops. So where we go next? Whoops. What did I get? There. Where did it even go? Haha, there we go. So a 4 and a 5. So that is another 9. Wait a minute, is 9 what I just did? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So that's 9 and 9. So 1800 stitches that I guess I will be putting into A Year in the Woods again. That was quite an interesting roll there. But yeah, so hey, we might actually get her head finished. How about that? So yeah, see, it must have been because I left it on the frame. That was what it was. But yeah, so hopefully we'll get the whole face finished on this one. Do I think I can get more than the face done with 1800 stitches? Maybe this little house. I don't know. Am I underestimating now how many I'll get done? I don't know. What do we think? But yeah, that was quite unexpected, that roll there. But yes, so I can carry on with this today. But yeah, so I will catch you in a bit. But yeah. So just to add in here, I know I had said on my game rules that I was only going to work on each street, you know, each location once as I went round. But I think I was just so shocked that I'd landed on it exactly, like I'd gone back and forth and landed straight on the same square, that I completely forgot that and decided I was working again on this, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, just that's why despite me saying that wasn't what I was going to do, that's why I did do it, if that makes sense. So there we go. So as you can see, I did a lot of work on this project. I did manage to get all of those stitches put in. So this went in for a total of 2,810 stitches. Did I quite get it finished? I did actually get the fox herself finished. Oh, let's put my needle back on the needle minder. So yeah, I think I got a bit further than I thought I might, but you know, we're getting there. So here is where I ended up. So we've done the 2 trees on this side and one of the trees there. So I'm trying to hop over the I've got like the charging cable here because the plug is like over there, so I'm having to like whip it over to the charging port. But yeah, and then I started on the little kind of hut that's there. So yeah, another couple of stitches, another couple of trees to do up here and some snowflakes, and then just a few more trees down there to do. So actually I don't think this will take that much more to stitch. I know I'm not very good at estimating, but I'm pretty sure one more stitchy session I could get those last 3 to do. What is it? 1, 2, 3. So 4 trees, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Sort of 3 snowflakes, and then some little dots here and there. Pretty sure I could get that done in one go. So yeah, so this one is going to be very close to a finish as well. This is also stitched on Megan Coffee Crafts fabric. This is a 28 count even weave. Basically I picked all 28 count even weaves for all the seasons, because each sort of season is going to have its own fabric. So I'm going to stitch the 3 winter pieces on this fabric, and then obviously spring on the spring fabric, and summer on the summer. So yeah, so this is the middle section of this one. It will finish to be, you know, this wide. But yes, so I might end up keeping this one out. Oh, hiccup. Keeping this one out to try and get finished. Because I did, as I was getting ready to do my review, I did sort of look through my journal and realised that now that I finished the tea time this month, that means that apart from January, I've had a finish every single month. So, which means obviously in July and August, potentially I could have 2 more finishes. If I finish that piece in July and then the mini village in August, that's 2 more finishes that I could have. I don't think any of my other projects are quite that close to a finish just yet for September, so you know, but I might start something new by then that I could get finished. But anyway, so yeah, so that was my month in my journal. I think I missed, what was it, 1, 2, 3, 4. I did miss 8 stitchy days this month, but I did do 12,274 stitches this month, which is much. I think my goal each month is about 17 to stay on track, but like I said, it was hard work this month with the heat wave we had. Actually, there was one day I even took the temperature in the house. I have one of those like infrared temperature things, and it was 39 degrees inside my house. The last time I was in 39 degree heat was when I was on holiday in Africa, and that was in June, probably about 6-7 years ago. And yeah, I spent the summer in North Africa, and it was 39-40 degrees, like, so yeah. So at least it was a drier heat out there. It's very humid here, which makes the relative temperature hotter, mainly because you can't really sweat any temperature away, so your body doesn't cool down much. So yeah, my body temperature was up as well. I think I was at 37.7 my body temperature, which is not good for body temperature really. At least not my normal body temperature is about 35.5. My body temperature runs quite low, so yeah, it was hard work. So yeah, I didn't stitch I think for about 4 days in a row, because just sitting upright was really hard work. My blood pressure was sort of quite low, so being upright, I was getting very dizzy very quick. So I'd sit up for like 20 minutes and then be like, okay, now I need to lie down, and then I'd be up for 10-15 minutes. Okay, now I need to lie down, and that wasn't really conducive to stitching. So, but anyway, apart from that, you know, I got most of the at least I got my 3 goals done, was the point. So I got my 3 goals done, which is the main thing. Now I did have another sort of fully finished this month. So inspired by Charlie, Stitching with Charlie's Just Finish It June and July hashtag that she's got it on. I thought, I have a piece that I have recently just finished, and it would be nice to have it finished, like fully finished. So I did. Now this is the first time I've ever had a finish like this. First time I've sewn a piece into one of these, and this is the Sweet as Honey Biscornu that I got, that I borrowed the chart from Alison at the Essex Needles Retreat. So it's this one here. I did use the beads that came with it, but the thread I picked was the, where is it? I've buried it. Haha. It was Weeks Dye Works Tiger's Eye. Let's spin that round again. There we go. So yeah, so Weeks Dye Works Tiger's Eye, which is it's about the 430 brands, so 434, 435, 436. So it's about those sort of colours. I partly know that because the thread that I used to sew it up was one of those, because I thought, I'm not using the fancy thread to sew it up, I'll just use regular DMC that I have in stash. But here is my finished Biscornu. So there we are. So all finished, all sewn up with the sort of the beads as charted, and then the 2 beads in the middle there. I have filled this one with walnut shells, So it does have sort of a bit of weight to it. Now how I did that, because obviously the linen that it's stitched on is quite fine, so I basically took some iron-on interfacing and I ironed that on the back of these before I cut them and then sewed them. And then I did if you saw when I finished this, I'd already done the border line, which is basically just like a stem stitch border all the way around on both pieces, so that I would then sew those stitches together. I then left about 1/4 to 5/8 of an inch border on the pieces then when I cut them, so like a seam allowance, and then seam them together. It was very easy to mark up where the middle of the square was, because on the chart you had sort of a design that went right to the centre, so it was very easy to say, oh, that's the middle that goes with the corner. But yeah, should I have got a bigger needle out to do the to thread that? Yes, it was very fiddly trying to do that with the cross stitch needle. Was I too stubborn to get up and go and find my longer needles? Yes, I was. But yeah, that is all finished. So that's my first ever biscorne. But yeah, all done. But yeah, so it's my first biscorne, all finished. But yeah, I do have another biscorne. I don't know if I'm currently stitching it or if it's just a chart, you know, one that I have ready to start. But yeah, so obviously now I know how to do it. It's actually quite easy, you know. It wasn't that much effort to stitch together, but yeah, it does look quite intricate when you sort of look at it, and that you know, it takes a while for your brain to realise that it's just two squares stitched together. But yes, and I suppose there's a trend now where we wear these as little hats. So I was going to try and pop it on Coco's head for her to wear as a little hat, but it is a little bit too heavy. So I sort of go to put it on her head and she just like sinks like this. She's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But yes, that's my first one, all finished. That was all my stitching done for this month. That's all my stitching. So what I was going to do next was talk a bit about the retreat and things I picked up at the retreat, and then we'll go on to my kind of 6-month goal review and plans for the next 6 months at the end. Now I did buy a couple of things at the retreat. I didn't actually buy that much at the retreat. I was very restrained. I did look at many things, but I didn't actually buy them, which was very good. So I don't even think I've picked anything up on the D-stash this time. So I was very well behaved. Now I did get a piece of fabric from, this was one of the offcuts, so it's a 28 count linen, and it's basically a skinny half, this one I think would be. So it's 54 inches long by 7 inches wide, and it's kind of, yeah, very blue. It's a bit more pink than it's showing up on my screen. But yeah, blues, pinks and purples, lilacs. And I picked this up because I'm hoping that I kind of did a quick like calculation in my head, and I think this one will be just about long enough for the Jardin Privé like stitches ABC. If I've got a photo, I'll pop that in here, which is done as a bell pull, and I'm pretty sure it will fit that. The only thing I need to check is, because it does need, I'm going to be cutting it fine with only having this 7 inches wide, because I think the design area is like 6 inches, 6¼ inches or something on 28 count, so it's going to be right close to the border. And the only thing I need to check is that these cut lines are actually straight to the stitching of the linen. So yeah, so I'll probably take a needle and thread and literally just try and just probably stitch a line down by the edge, so that I can sort of see exactly where my piece is going to go. But yes, but maybe if not, I mean, it's quite a nice cute colour, so I'm sure it will do for some of the little pieces here. Hello. But yeah, I'm sure I'll use it for something. So I picked up that there, and then the other thing I picked up is going to be a gift, and I think by the time you see this, the person won't have received it. And I'm pretty sure that person watches my videos, so I'm not going to be showing you the other thing that I bought, unfortunately, just yet. But yes, what else have I got? What else did I buy? What else did I get? Oh, we've got a few little goodies for the retreat. So a little coaster, the NOBAM Retreat. So I was there. It got a little pin badge as well that had all our names on, so that we knew who everyone was. And then we did have a like, what do they call it? Was it like a mystery box exchange sort of thing, which I took part in, where you put together a gift bag to give to someone, and there should be kind of six little gifts in there, all around, you know, with certain prompts. So we had things like it had to be something pink, something stitchy related, something handmade, homemade, so something Christmassy, so Christmas in July, something Christmassy themed. What else was that? Was that for? Oh gosh, what else have we had? Something handmade, something stitchy, something pink, something Christmas, something that started with one of the letters of NOBAM was there, and what was the sixth thing? Oh, you know what? I'm going to go through the gift bag as we go, and then hopefully I'll remember as I'm showing you. I'm going to show you what I got. So we had, what do you reckon? I think we had our something homemade or handmade that I opened first. Oh, something sparkly, that was the other thing. But anyway, something handmade or homemade is my mystery person made a matching set. So we have a few bits. So you have like a tissue holder there. This is like an orc catcher. So you've got for all your, I suppose you could use it for anything, whether it's an orc catcher or just a thing to hold other bits that you have stitching, like, you know, scissors and markers and things. So that's the tag that she popped in. This is handmade by Shell Louise. That was my mystery person. This actually got used straight away. So this is like a glasses case. So it has like a spring-loaded clasp in it, but it is a glasses case. And so I actually used this the whole weekend to put my sunglasses in, instead of like having to like hook them on random things that I found. I thought, oh, perfect. So my sunglasses went straight in this. So yeah, it's a Claude Monet fabric. But yeah, and then matching little project bag there. I do like this. I'm gonna have to try and make some of these. These are quite good for the zipper pulls. But yes, with the vinyl front. So yeah, so that was my Shells handmade item. Do I remember the order that we opened these? No, I don't. So we will go for it. Now, I'm actually missing my other pink thing, so I might. So I should have brought it up, but this is my pink thing. So it's a pair of pink socks, and then also there was a. I'll have to cut that out because I don't know if that'll get me copyright flagged on it. So she also got me a little. It's like a little plant pot. It's pink. Plant pot, an acorn shape, with pink. It's like a plant your own. So it's got like pink. Is it pink daisies in? So it's got like the little, you know, coconut husk thing and the seeds to plant. So that's actually downstairs in my kitchen, ready to be planted. I've done the water for that one. So that was the something pink. Then there was a something sparkly. So, and what I got was very sparkly. So she popped in a set of these bobbins. So there's two stars. So you've got the clear sparkle, and then like the solid gold sparkle. Oh, almost matches my nail varnish there. But yeah, so very sparkly. These aren't going to show up just how shiny they are on camera, I don't think. Oh, maybe you can see how shiny, but they're very sparkly. Yes, Coco likes these a lot. Yes, she likes the sparkles. But unfortunately, these are not a Coco toy. No. Yes. So you can see my yarn drying on there. And then a like a thread floss card there with little stickers. This is from Love Poppet, and again very sparkly. That was my something sparkly. Then we had something stitchy related. Scoop. So where I got one of these, which is really handy. So you put it on anything, a chain, a keyring, anything. But it's like a little thread cutter. So in all the little gaps here, these little nicks, is a little blade. So you can use that for cutting the thread or yarn. And an owl to cross stitch on. I have to try and think up a pattern to put on there. And then it's also a floss card, floss holder. Oh, what do you call it? My brain's gone. Lovely pair of scissors, these ones. Oh, try and get the end off. But yes, so these are quite a big pair of scissors there, with a nice comfortable grip on there. So yes, these will be going somewhere nice and safe so that nobody uses them for paper. But yes, and then a cross stitch journal. Now I've had a look through this because I might. So I think, yeah, it is all the same. So you get at the start there is a yearly planner there, which I might not use because a lot of my projects take more than a year to do. But the give or take, all of the rest of the pages are set up like this. So you've got a grid here, and then like a journal, like not a journal, like a record sheet here. So you know the name of the chart, the name of the designer, any fancy threads you're using, progress tracker, things like that. So this might come in handy for some of my longer term projects, thinking like like my full coverages, to try and keep a record so that it's all in one place, as opposed to every year me kind of just updating the spreadsheet from where I was like the previous year, whereas this will be from scratch. So yes, I don't know if there's a brand. Printed in Great Britain by Amazon, but I don't think there's a brand name of who it's actually from. But yeah, I mean it's from Amazon then, so I'm sure you'd be able to find a cross stitch journal on Amazon. But yes, that was my something stitchy. Then I had something Christmassy, so I got some cookie cutters, which will come in handy for Christmas, like gingerbread cutters. So Christmas tree, and then little gingerbread person. But yeah, and some. Now I can't describe the smell of these. They're called frosted Christmas tree candles, but like I wouldn't know how to describe the smell. Like they don't smell like. I suppose they do smell like a frosted Christmas tree. If you imagine going into a garden centre at Christmas, and it's that kind of smell. So it's a little bit cinnamony, a little bit piney, that kind of smell. But yeah, so frosted Christmas tree motifs. It doesn't kind of explain describe the scent anywhere on the box. So that will be quite fun. But yeah, it's kind of that. Yeah, you go into a garden centre at Christmas and you've got the trees and the the decorations, and it's kind of that like tinsely smell. I don't know how to describe it. If you've ever been in the garden centre at Christmas, I'm really sorry. You have no idea what this smells like. But yes, and then a little Christmas planner as well. So this is for like planning out gifts, menus, budgets. But yes, so very cute little planner there. And then the last thing was the thing for NOBAM. It says letters. So I had, she basically picked a couple of things. I think put this into an N and an M, but I suppose it could go under just one or the other. But we had lovely sort of hand cream, so hand and nail cream for your nails, so sort of nail and manicure-y. And then this, which I think someone else bought this as soon as they saw this one off me, they went to buy one as well, which is like a manicure set, nail manicure set. So yeah, which my mum can attest that I'm always asking her for like a nail file or some nail scissors or something, because I've always either broken a nail or chipped a nail or got a little like a hangnail or something, and I'm like, Mum, can I have some? Whenever a retreat, I'm like, Mum will have the nail file, I'll just ask her. Because now I have my own. It's in quite a nice little padded kit, so it won't actually get caught on anything. But yes, so that was in my mystery box. But yeah, it was really fun. So watching everyone open theirs. So how it was set out is that everyone sort of opened their gifts in order. So everyone opened like the prompt number 1 gift at the same time, and then we got to see what everyone had, and then the prompt number 2, you know, like that. So yeah, it was really fun to see what everyone had got and how people had interpreted the prompts differently to each other, because some of them are quite bland, like something pink or something starting with an N, you know, they're quite broad prompts. So it was really fun to see what people got and how the gifts matched the person that was gifting them as well. It was really interesting to see, really fun to watch go around. So yes, so that was all of my goodies from the retreat. I'm just going to pause this while I pop them all in both, because at the minute they're all over my lap, and if I move I'm going to throw them on the floor. So I will pause this and then we'll come back and have a look at my 6-month goals, where Coco will not be impressed because she's currently lying down on my... Okay, she was lying down on my book until I said her name and she looked up at me and fell off the arm of the chair. So she's not lying on the book anymore, so we can do the goals. So there we go, it's all okay. But yeah, okay, anyway, I still need to pause this to put all my stuff away. Okay. There we go. Should we have a cuddle? Yeah. This is not very nice, it's being thrown on the floor. There you go. Right, you going to sit down? Good girl. Bum down. Good girl. Right, so my 6-month check-in. So I did go and do all of my figures yesterday, worked it all out so that I could see where we were, how close I was to the goals. So I've got like, it keeps tickling the back of my neck. How close I was to the goals, and obviously what my plan for the next 6 months would be to make sure that I achieved them. So goals that I had for the start of the year was to complete my whip go, which is 40,000 stitches all together if I complete every square. I think my goal is to reach 5% of stitching every year, and I think 5% is something like 32,000 stitches. So, you know, I set myself the goal this year being around 40,000. So if I set my goal a bit higher, if I don't quite reach it each month, hopefully I'll still complete the 5% that my goal is. So yeah, so if I complete all of my whip go, then that's 40,000 stitches. My woodland Christmas stocking I want to complete. My market sale, I want to get that complete as well. I would also like to touch all of my projects, but at least work on all of the projects that I hadn't worked on in the previous year. So I had a list of, what was it, 3, 6, 9, 12. There was 15 projects that I did not work on in 2025. I have to work on those 15 this year, you know, I can't go 2 years without working on them, so I have to make sure I work on those this year. Then I also wanted to stitch for 300 of the days of the year, and stitch a total of 200,000 stitches by the end of the year. So taking those into account, it worked out that I needed to stitch about 667 stitches per day that I stitched to get the required number. So how well did I do? So my goal for the 300 days, I'm just shy of that by 15 days shy of that. So I've only stitched 135 out of the 150 for the 6 month mark. So I haven't stitched as many days, but obviously my 6 month stitchy checking was going to be 100,000 stitches for half the year. I've stitched 99,261, so I'm only just over 700 stitches shy. So that's like one good day of stitching shy of hitting my sort of 100,000. So I'm actually really close in that, so I'm quite happy with that. I know I've had a couple of months where I really haven't stitched that many days of the year, of the month, but then I've had other months where I've stitched almost every single day, so it has balanced out. So I think I'm quite happy with those. I don't think I need to change anything with them. I think keep plodding along as I am. I think it will be quite good. So my whip go for my Animal Kingdom, there's been 12 numbers called, and I've worked all 12 of those numbers, and those come to a total of 18,800. So we're not quite done with half of the stitching, but we are very close. So obviously half of my year's goal would have been 20,000, and we've done almost 19,000 of those stitches. So actually we're not too far off. So so I don't know if you know, I will pop the picture up again. So I mean, some of these squares had as little as 400 or 500 stitches, and then some have as many as sort of 2,600, 2,800 stitches. So yeah, there was a chance that all of the small numbers would have got picked at the start of the year, leaving or vice versa, you know. But actually we seem to be quite working out quite evenly split, which is good. So yeah, so about halfway with that one. Obviously my stocking, I have kept up with all of those stitches, and my market sal, I've also kept up with each of those segments as well. So that one is good. My average stitches per day of stitching is a bit higher than my goal. So if you remember, my goal was 667. My actual number of stitches per day is 735 stitches. So even days when I have stitched really little, there's been enough days of me stitching, you know, over the sort of 700, 800 stitches that it's kind of balanced out quite nice, which is good. So yeah, and in terms of number of projects that I've worked on, I have only worked on 5 of my 15 projects that are on my didn't work last year list. 2 of them I am thinking about UFOing though. So that takes my list down to sort of 13 with 5 works. So that leaves me 8 to work on for the last half of this year, which we've only got 6 months to work on. So I need to work on at least one, make sure I'm working on at least one every month for this year, if not, you know, 2. So yeah, so that one I do need to work on, but we are getting there. In terms of my starts and finishes, I've started 4 projects this year, but I have finished 5 projects, so we are doing well with my start to finish ratio. So, and then I also have my stitchy allowance, so which is basically my way of trying to keep the number of stitches that I have in my projects decreasing, so that obviously the aim is that I will have less projects to do, if that makes sense. So how I work that out is I take the number of stitches I do in the month and I half that, and then I bank that number, and that is the number of stitches I'm allowed to spend on new starts. So no matter how many new starts I really have, the total amount of stitching that's going to be left to do will be decreasing. That's the goal anyway. So, and this year my current balance, I'm 8,640 131 stitches in the black, so I do have stitches to spend. So I am, you know, keeping within my allowance, which is good. I think this time last year I was at 8,645, so I'm almost identical to my stitchy balance for, you know, halfway through last year, which is really fun. But yes, so that is my 6-month check-in. So really, that in terms of the goals that it's set, probably they haven't really changed. I don't really need to change anything on my goals. That I've achieved, give or take, what, you know, half of my year's worth of goals. The only thing I do need to do is make sure I'm trying to incorporate some of those sort of forgotten projects each month. So I will probably, I mean, there's 8 left. I will probably do a random number generator if one of those projects doesn't get called on my Repopoly board. If it does, and I work it as part of Repopoly, great. But if I'm sort of getting towards the end of the month and I haven't picked one, then I will have to random number generate and sort of pick one to put some stitches into. But yeah, apart from that, we are good to go into July, to the second half of the year. I know Jessie has done the rolls for this next month's Whip Go, which I don't know, you would have probably noticed on my Whip Go board that 2 of the numbers were kind of had a greyed out star. They're the numbers that have been picked for this month, and they're both very low numbers, 800 and 500. So yeah, 1,300 stitches is going to be the least number of stitches that I'll have done for Whip Go in a month, which technically means that it gives me the rest of July to I'll have a lot more left of July to work on other projects. So yeah, hopefully Repopoly will pull through and I'll pull out a couple of those forgotten projects to work on. But yeah, it'll be quite fun. I don't really have any other plans for this month. There's no holidays, no trips. I don't think I've got anything else going on. Nothing exciting anyway. Like I said, trying to stay in from the heat, keep everyone cool, keep the cats cool. Me stay, you know, cool as well. Remember to stay hydrated, everyone. But yeah, so a couple of shout outs to do. I mean, I suppose one of them is technically a shout out, since I talk about her every video, is Jessie Marie, because I actually saw one of her, she posted was it a story or an image on Instagram? One of the two that she posted, and actually it was my video in the background, and it was like, now I know Jessie Marie probably won't feel like this, but it was almost like a celebrity was watching my video, and I'm like, but that's like, how does she know that I exist? Like, how does... So see, I've been following Jessie for quite a number of years. She was one of the first YouTubers or Flosstubers that I actually sort of found on here. So yeah, so seeing that she watched like little old me's video did make me very giddy at the time. I did have to go and tell other people, and people were like, who's that? And I'm like, you won't understand, like, you don't understand. But yes, and then also is it Moon, I did write it down so that I get it right, Moonshine Stitchery, there we go, who also shouted me out on her channel, because I had a couple of people comment to say that that's where they'd come from. So thank you very much for the lovely shout out there. And yeah, I've added her video to my shout outs playlist as well, so I will tag her below, but if you go on my playlists, there's all the people that I've shouted out. There's sort of videos from all of them, so you can find their channel that way as well. But yeah, but anyway, I don't think I've got anything coming up for next month, so nice and free. In fact, there is literally nothing, because I haven't even opened for July yet, so not even any stickers on there yet. So we have, hopefully it'll be a nice easy month for us all. Are we going to say goodbye, Coco? Let's pick her up. She's very much like a little slinky worm in this weather. But yeah, she's a very good girl, and she has been taking her inhaler, and she has not had any asthma attacks. She has been a very good girl, very well behaved and very healthy. So yeah, so here is to a nice healthy July for everyone. And yeah, you're going to say bye-bye. You're going to say proper bye. There we go. Say bye-bye. She said, no, I want to go back to sleep. It always feels very strange after she's had a haircut, because you don't realise how much of her is fur until after she has all the fur cut off, and then she's like such a tiny little baby. Like she's such a tiny little handful. Tiny baby. No. So tiny. Little folded up baby. But yeah. Luckily she puts up with my shenanigans, so we're all good. So yeah, there we go. So thank you for watching, if indeed you still are. And I hope you all have a lovely summer. So I'll see you all soon. Love you lots.